Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 7 of my Priority Health Show. Just going to do a quick sound check on Facebook to make sure that you can actually all hear me properly. Yep, we are all good. Awesome. So welcome to this episode. I've got a couple of quick introductions or quick notices that I want to do before I deep dive into this week's or this episode's topic. And the first one is that I want to welcome you if you're new to the show. We're now going to be on YouTube. There's also going to be 2 episodes a week. So there's going to be an episode on Monday, approximately 10 a.m. Cyprus time, because that's where I live. So 8 a.m. UK time. And then there's also going to be one on a Thursday, which is going to be a flexible time on Thursday, depending on when the guest that I'm getting on is available. So Monday's going to be just me talking about content, whatever topic I decide to discuss. And Thursday is going to be all about interviewing a industry expert. So again, Thursday will be flexible timing. Monday will be 10 a.m. Cyprus time, 8 a.m. UK time. So that's the update in regards to the podcast. It's also going to be put onto YouTube as well. And those of you that are listening to this on Spotify or watching me on YouTube, it is initially a Facebook Live. So I do all these podcast episodes as of now as a Facebook Live. I then put the audio onto Spotify and the video and audio onto YouTube so that people can check it out. If they want to see what I look like while I talk, they can watch me on YouTube. But if they think I'm a minger, they can just listen to me on Spotify. Awesome. So yeah, thanks a lot for checking out today's episode. If you're watching this on the Facebook Live, feel free to say hi, comment, give me a share. I'd massively appreciate any shares, any love that you want to give the show. I'm massively appreciative of. But let's get stuck in to today's episode. So I don't want to be stuck in this room too long. It's quite hot today, and you may be able to hear the ceiling fan a little bit in the background. If you can, I apologize, but I have no choice. There's no way that I could sit in this room and record this episode without the fan on at least low. I would melt. So yeah, I'm going to keep it relatively short and sharp for this episode, primarily because I'm melting. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the future because it's only going to get hotter out here. So I have no idea what I'm going to do moving forward. I may just have to bite the bullet and melt. Who knows? Okay, so anyway, today's episode, I want to talk about what we can learn from Neanderthals. So I'm currently reading a book called Sapiens, which is a book all about the evolution and history of man, basically. How we developed from monkeys, where we came from in the first place, where the first humans came from, what humans are. And it's actually a really, really interesting book. It's a heavy read for me. I don't know if that's just because it's the book that I read before bed and I'm already knackered. So trying to read any kind of book is always harder before bed when your eyes are tired. But I find it a pretty heavy read. So I usually read 5 to 10 pages a night. But I'm finding it really fascinating how it goes into breeds and species and things like that, and how there's multiple different types of humans. We are different types. We've got Neanderthals, we've got or Homo. Is it Homo? Homus? I'm not sure. But that's basically like the breed, like a dog, is the breed of humans. There's different species within the human breed. There's different breeds within the human species. I think that's correct. Anyway, I'm butchering this summary of the book. But you've got Neanderthals, you've got Erectus, and you've got Sapiens. And Erectus is basically like upright. So I think that's basically they got given that name because they were more upright than other humans at the time. Neanderthals, I'm not sure what Neanderthals means, but I think they're more like they're more muscular. They're not as intelligent as Homo sapiens, like what we are. We sacrificed energy to build muscle to actually develop our brains, whereas Neanderthals, they kind of put their energy into building muscle and they're therefore less intelligent. This obviously isn't, they're not around anymore, obviously. And that's kind of why, because we chose to go down the route of evolution where we became more intelligent, we evolved, we developed new materials, we got the technology era, the Iron Age, the cognitive era, all of these different things. And the Neanderthals were just like brute force. Yeah. So in a one-on-one fight, Neanderthals would probably win because they're a lot stronger. But if it was like a war that required strategy, Sapiens would win. Yeah. Just so you got a bit of a rough idea of the background of this book. And the main topic I want to talk about behind this title is how simple having a healthy lifestyle is. Because we see all over social media, we've got superfoods, we've got supplements, we've got all these different things that we should be doing if we want to be healthy. When really, the fundamental of good health is very, very basic. Hence why it's called the fundamental. It's very simple, and it's something that I actually cover in my book, Habits, Health, Happiness. And I want to read a passage from this book now so that, again, I don't butcher it like I butchered my summary of his introduction to Sapiens. I don't want to butcher my own book, do I? So here's a quick summary of the book. You can grab the book, by the way, at hhhbook.net/buy the book. If you want to check out my book, you can also get his incomplete audiobook as well if you want to grab that too. Anyway, here we go. The two foundations of good physical health are moderation and sustainability. It is about having a healthy relationship with your life and everything in it, as well as being realistic and looking at your life as an adult, taking ownership of your life, and actually making sensible decisions based on reality. Basically, not taking things to the extreme like cutting out sugar or working out every day for 30 days, because that stuff's just unnecessary and a little bit daft. But so many people have an extreme and impatient attitude to life, and I put it down to social media, next day delivery, and food delivery services. If people want food, they can get it within an hour. If someone wants a new coffee machine, it could be at their house tomorrow, and they wouldn't even have to get off the sofa. When someone approaches their health with impatience, the action they take is usually stupid, extreme, and unsustainable. I've touched on this in depth in the Mindset for Fat Loss section, so for now I'll just leave you with this. Optimal health cannot be achieved, in 7 days of bulletproof coffee. It's a lifelong journey that starts with the simple basics. And what I'm about to tell you is no revelation. It's not a secret, and I guarantee you already know it all, but you're just not doing it. Let's go back to caveman times. What two things did cavemen need to stay alive? Water and food. In order to get water, they would have had to walk to a water source, like a river, which may have been a few miles away, across varying terrain. And to get food, they would have to have hunted animals and gathered crops. And obviously, both of those things involve lots of physical exercise. So ensuring you include the right amount of those three things in everyday life is a foundation of good health. Food, water, physical exercise. It's really simple. So why don't we do it? Well, life has changed, and we no longer live in caves. Instead, we have emails, to-do lists, and spend more time working than playing. Life is busy and hectic, so we forget to drink water, and we have no time for exercise because everything else is more important, like getting that report or email done before tomorrow. We have services that bring calorie-dense food to our door, so we don't even need to move off the sofa. No more hunting and gathering. And we sit behind steering wheels and desks all day instead of walking. This is why so many members of the population are unhealthy and overweight. They don't drink water, they eat too many calories, and they don't move enough. But here's the thing. You can change all of that very easily. You can start improving your health today by just ensuring you do those three things. Drink more water, monitor your food intake, and do more exercise. So why don't more people start making these changes? Well, because surely it can't be that simple. We love to overcomplicate things. Reaching your long-term weight loss goals aren't quite that simple. There are other variables and things that need to be addressed. But in order to improve your health and set yourself up for weight loss success in the long term, it all starts with those three things. There we are. That is what we can learn from the Neanderthals, that we need to make better choices with our food. Yeah. Have a more whole food, plant-based diet. That's not me saying you have to go vegan or vegetarian. That's your prerogative. A plant-based diet is where most of your food comes from plant sources. Yeah. Very simple. So more of a plant-based diet. Yeah. Drink more water. The amount of people that I work with and that I speak to who just don't drink, and that was me included. If I rewind 5, 10 years ago when I first started hitting the gym, there was no way I was drinking enough water. And on reflection, I don't know how I didn't have a headache all the time. So yeah, make better choices with your food, a more plant-based diet. A diet approach that I suggest my clients implement is something called the 80-20 rule, which you may or may not have heard of. This rule goes into different areas of life as well, sales and marketing and everything like that. But in regards to nutrition, it's 80% of your calorie consumption for the day should come from whole foods. So that's stuff that you've made yourself, homemade stuff, basically. And 20% can come from processed food that you enjoy eating. Okay, and that's like what I mentioned at the start of that passage, what the foundation of good health is. Let me just find it so I make sure that I actually paraphrase it properly. It's moderation and sustainability. That's the foundations of good health. Moderation and sustainability. So you've got good choices with your food, water, and regular exercise. Set yourself a step target. Make it a non-negotiable. Right? If you walk normally 5,000 steps a day, set yourself a target of 6. Once you've hit that every day for 2 weeks, aim for 7. I've got one client who I work with called Jennifer. She's an absolute legend. I love her to pieces. She puts in a lot of effort. And when she came to me, she was extremely overweight. And she wasn't very active. She was probably doing maybe 3,000 steps a day. And over time, I've worked with her for probably coming up to 12 months now. She's now getting nearly 15,000 steps a day. And a year ago, she was getting like 2,000 a day. So you don't have to do anything crazy. Like I mentioned in the book, nothing extreme, nothing too mad. Positive, simple changes in moderation that are sustainable. That is what we can learn from the Neanderthals. And that is the foundations of good health. And that is then going to lead on to you having good foundations for fat loss. Once you've got, your energy levels higher, which is what will happen when you eat better food and drink more water, you'll have more energy. You'll then want to exercise more. You're then going to sleep better. And it's just a snowball effect. And it all starts with this very simple change to your lifestyle. So many people tackle fat loss at a surface level. So they would just take some pills, take some potions, try and stick to a diet that doesn't really work for them. They've just seen Sally down the road do it, and it worked for her. So surely it should work for them. So that's the issue. People address it surface level. But once you go deeper, back to the basics, yes, it may take longer if you look at it from a short-term perspective. If you look at it like, if I try and address a problem, it may take a couple of weeks, a month, maybe until I've got my lifestyle in check and things, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get any results. Whereas if I just starve myself for a week, I'll lose a couple of pounds. I'm going to go and starve myself. That's an immature way of approaching fat loss. It's as simple as that. If you want to prolong the opportunity that you have on this planet, live as long as possible. You could obviously die tomorrow if you get run over, but your health is in your control. And trying to lose body fat by doing something daft is immature, in my humble and accurate opinion. So, yeah, go down to the problem, which is your lifestyle. There isn't a healthy lifestyle there. Fix that, get that in check. It's not difficult. You just got to be consistent. And then that's going to form a solid foundation that you can then build upon when you want to start losing body fat. Yeah. Then you can start looking at the best workouts and training program for you. Then you can start looking at the best dieting strategy for you. Then you can look at other areas of your life, time management, things like that. But those foundational habits, they require minimal effort, right? Drinking more water is not difficult. Eating whole foods is not difficult. You just buy more of them from the supermarket, right? And then walking more. I don't think anyone has any excuse for not walking more, unless obviously you have a physical condition, but that's a given. So address those three areas. Go back to caveman times. Build the foundations of a healthy lifestyle. Boost your energy. Get to grips with your new lifestyle. Make sure it's a habit you do on autopilot every single day. And then you can move forward and start hitting your physique goals. Simple as that. Right. Thank you for checking out today's episode. I really enjoyed it. I'm just going to go and double check the live to see if we've got any comments on there. It's also worth noting, if you're watching this before the 29th of June 2020, registration is currently open for my back on track 5-day challenge. It's totally free. The link will be in the show notes. If you're watching this on the Facebook Live, the link is also above. So if you're a female professional that wants actually help developing this healthy lifestyle, guidance by me, some simple guidance and coaching by me for 5 days, totally free of charge. Register, get involved. Let's get you moving forward. Let's get you back on track. Let's get you into a position where you can start increasing your body confidence, seeing sustainable, consistent fat loss results that you keep. So thanks a lot for watching today's episode or listening to today's episode, depending on what platform you're on. I appreciate you. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.